Okay, so what I have here is what I worked on earlier today. I honestly just kind of made something up as I was going because I haven't actually painted anything in a while. But yeah, I kind of have some of this black and white still going with just a value study. And then I kind of translated that over to here as well, where I kind of found values and I found local color. So I'm gonna just try to work through more of this. Let's see. I'm gonna get my. I'm gonna go ahead and render the rest of her out. Let's do that. Okay, so I got my values layer. I'm gonna go black and white. And then, alright, let's finish out her hair. Alright, so I'm just add a little black and white here. Okay, I'm just quickly throwing some grays here. And just try to find my darks and lights. I don't want it to feel like curly hair, so I'm gonna not be precious with where I'm putting the shade in. Okay. I think I like that. Okay, so I'm just trying to remove a lot of this white. Sometimes I'll start with the color base, but I'm just, like I said, just killing some of that white off by adding those grays. And I know she's gonna probably skew like a dark brown hair, so that'll just give me my baseline. And then let's put some color in here. Let's do like some dark brown. This kind of takes it from gray and then makes it a tone of brown. Since I know that's where to be going anyways. And I may not get everything colored today, but get some of it. Okay. Alright, so I got the hair in there. Okay, so my favorite part of this whole thing is just painting. Okay, so I was messing around with it and just kind of like made some stuff up as I was going. So this time I'm gonna actually like attempt to do the same thing. We will see how it works out. Okay, so let's redraw some of this. So this is the fun part because you're kind of just finding the drawing. But I've switched around to more of a legit kind of pencil. Just because I felt like before it was feeling very digital. And that's not the look I'm necessarily going for. So switching into like a more traditional pencil gave me a little more leg room and gave me some texture. So I'm just gonna Take some time kind of redrawing some spots in. Okay. That's too big. Okay. Okay. Alright. So I got that kind of redrawn in. And honestly, I'm going to just keep doing that across the whole thing. Finding my lines. Finding my shading. So I think I'm going to spend a day rendering this shirt real quick. Okay. Just kind of redefining these lines. Where they live, where they don't. Okay. Now we can go in and have some fun and just color, really. And if you notice, I'm doing all this on one line because, yes, it is harder, but I do feel like it tends to feel more painterly when you do it that way versus when you have like all these layers. I feel like it starts to look very digital. Okay. Uh-oh. So I kind of just spend hours upon hours just going back and forth on the lines and where things are, where things aren't. Come on. It's not color picking. There we go. You're not gonna get it in one swoop. You gotta kind of find the drawing, really. Particularly when you're drawing like this, because I am using a reference, but there's no real, it's not a one-to-one to the reference, so I'm having to improvise quite a bit here, which is fun. Keeps you on your toes. Or stresses you out, you know. One of the two. Okay. I feel like clothing is always one of the hardest things to draw. Not because it's legitimately hard, but it's just so many principles and things you can do to make it better, and things that if you do, it's gonna make it worse. yeah, finding this dark and this light. So I do want to be a little bit of a highlight at the bottom. But your main light is coming from the top, so that's where that main light will live. I kind of like just putting some of those lines in there. I want somebody to look at it and think, did they draw this on paper? That's like the effect that I like just personally, but you know, I like digital art as well. It's just not my idea of a good time, if you will. Okay. Hopefully this isn't boring to y'all. Just watching me draw. Hopefully you learn a little something along the way. And some of it you can't learn by watching. You gotta like do. It's like the only way you're gonna learn it. So keep that in mind also. I can tell you all the things I do and why I do them, but at some point it's gonna take you just getting out of your comfort zone and doing it yourself. Okay. Let's add a little. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little highlight here. Boom. I wanna see. What if I go up on that? What's the max size I got this at? Okay, there we go. I'm still playing around with the brushes too. I've actually never used these brushes before, so y'all are kind of learning as I'm learning, right? I think that's what makes it, fun and exciting and scary and amazing, terrifying and beautiful. Okay, I'm just trying to get some of these folds to read. I think they doing decent. But honestly, like the best way, if you're trying to get this look where it feels real and has texture and again feels more like a traditional piece of art, I found that drawing on one layer helps that a lot. I'm not sure the science behind it, but I think because, at least for me, because it's how I would naturally draw. Like you can't command Z something when you're drawing on paper or drawing with pen, or which I've done both extensively. So I think your mind changes a little bit to make you trick you into thinking you're doing traditional and you're actually not. Okay, so my highlight is coming from the left, so I'm just bumping those highlights. Okay. I have to say I'm very impressed with the new paper. Like I thought I was gonna kind of hate it because I kind of hated it before, And I didn't hate what it did for the iPad. I hated how it made the iPad look. I spent years using it and I didn't realize how terrible my screen looked until I took it off, and I was like, oh, I'm never going back. But as I decided to do this book, I was like, I feel like I should give it another shot, see what happens. And so far, I'm very impressed. I feel like they fixed a lot of the issues they had before, which I can appreciate, right? Okay. Making sure I don't overwork this thing. Okay, get some of those lights in there. Okay, let's push it. So if I know my light is coming from the top down, I'm gonna add a little almost white at the top there. Just in a couple little spots. Make it smaller. Okay. And at the end, I'll probably add pure white as well. Blend some of this out. It's feeling kind of hot. Let's draw some of this back in. So you see, I'm just going back and forth, drawing stuff out, drawing stuff in, drawing it back out, drawing it back in. Until I'm comfortable with what it looks like. Which, are we ever really comfortable with what it looks like as an artist? Sometimes I am. And then sometimes I gotta sleep on it and then go back to it and be like, maybe I need to tweak this and move that and do this. I think I'm happy with this shirt though. Yeah, it's feeling good. I could do the pants real quick too. Okay, let's do the pants real quick. That looks so good. That's only one small panel, but a win is a win. And honestly, I don't think I gotta do much of these pants because it's black and gray, and I've established a lot of the grays already. So I think we closer than if it was like pure color. Okay. And if you watch my other video, then you'll see how I went from straight line art, more like this, and like this, to like getting those grays in, to get it to more like this, and then taking that and then dropping that color in there. So I have another video that went through that more. This video I'm just kind of focusing in on this shirt and the pants. Just grabbing some texture there where needed. Okay. This knee is kind of dark. I see what I'm drawing in ballpoint pen, I like to crosshatch. I don't get to do it much when I'm doing digital. It just doesn't, for me, it doesn't translate the same. So I don't get to do it as much. But, you know, I like all types of art. Well, that's not true. I like a lot of types of art. Ballpoint pen being one, but I dibble and dabble in different types. Oh, it's too dark. I went too dark there. Yeah, I like to mess around with different types of art. See what sticks. You never know. You gotta try them all, I think, to determine where your passion lies. I started out doing portraits, which I still love, but haven't done much of in a while. That's not where I've been called to use my art at this moment, and that's okay. Okay, so get a little white here. So I need to press this gray a little more. So I'm just pressing these darks and these lights. Make sure this looks like the leg is folding over the other part of the leg. And try to give it volume so it feels cylindrical and rounded. Which are the hardest things to do, but you know, the more you do it, the better you get at it. Okay. Like I said, the pants honestly don't need a ton of work. I had done a lot of that leg work with the laying down the base color. It was just really, I just wanted to refine some of these just a little bit. I like to paint, quote unquote, digitally and physically really messy. I like to go big with my shapes and then refine. Come on. I think my iPad is tired of me. It's okay, we almost done. At least for another small part of the book. A book about a girl named Jasmine, a dog named Kobe, and what it meant for her to get him and what he's meant to her. Kind of being the only thing she can really depend on at times. When people failed her, Kobe didn't. Let's start. Okay. So sometimes I'm drawing straight on and sometimes I'm drawing on the side to get this kind of, so if I draw straight down it looks like this. If I draw on the side it goes like that, which is cool because it mimics a legit pencil, which again, being a traditional artist, I can appreciate. But it's nothing like pencil to paper or ink pen to paper. Nothing better, in my opinion. But I'm growing to love digital. Like I said, I had to grow to love it. I did not love it at first, and I've had an iPad for a very long time and just kind of refused to use it, honestly. I was like, and not even because I didn't want to, but it's just because my stuff just wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. It just didn't look the way I wanted it to. And then I had to remember, just because you're using a device, that don't dictate the capabilities of it. Like, you can do with it what you want. And I think I got so caught up in trying to illustrate the way other people were illustrating that I got lost in just doing what I do well. And so now I'm like, okay, I get it. I get what it's meant for. I get how people use it, but this is the best way for me to use it to get the art that I want to get out of it. So now I approach it in that way. Okay. Got some white on this side. So the main thing I'm doing now is just trying to get the roundness of the thigh with a little highlight here and a little highlight there. I'm digging it though. Let's add a little darker gray there. So I'm following the shape of the thigh. I'm not drawing straight across. I'm rounding my shading because the shape that I'm drawing is rounded. Okay. I'm digging it. Okay. Let's get a little bit of this brighter color in there. Since our highlight is coming from the right. Let's just get a little bit of that in there. Okay. I think that looks good. I like the texture I got. You could always go in. So I have some brushes. Add a layer. But I have some texture brushes that can also get you some extra oomph to your drawings. If you wanted it to be a particular, which I don't hate that. And then what you could do is, honestly, you could just stamp that in and then blend it. So if I want to use that texture, I can either blur it so it doesn't feel so out of place. Or you could have copied it and smudged some of it to like push it back a little bit into space. But I'm not gonna use it just because I just don't think it needs it. And I gotta draw her a few more times, so trying to be mindful of all this extra I'm putting on her because I gotta be able to duplicate. I'm not sure why I didn't do that the right color. It's the wrong color. Okay, so got the shirt done. Got some textures in there. Then we got some nice lights, some nice darks. Got these pants in there. Loving this back leg, how that one looks. Like the depth that I got with that. So yeah, another small piece of this drawing done. A lot more to go, but again, that's okay. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you on the next one.